Okay, so now we're recording. Hey, everybody. It is 7 p.m. Central Time on a Friday for the 7-day fitness chatbot challenge. Had to add a couple days because I wanted to deliver what I said I was going to deliver, and I failed in the challenge of doing it in 5 days. So if you're joining us today, there's actually going to be 2 more days next week. I'll talk about it again at the end, and I'll post in the group and on Facebook. So where we left off, this is day 5 of this now 7-day build. We have a pretty robust chat bot that we've set up in Go High Level with CloseBot. I've connected it to a simple website down here in the live chat. We'll mess around with this to tweak it and make it work slightly better, but it works. We tested it. We also added it to a Facebook page here. I'm going to share this document with you all on my left, in case you don't have it, but if you do, you know what it is. This is a workflowy document. It's a free tool that I use to make lists. I think it's awesome. I'm going to share this with you guys in the chat. So you can open this and use it on your own, but in the chat under niche here, I've included a new link for the test page to this because I moved around and changed the header because it said something different yesterday. So just so you know, if you're looking at the bot we built yesterday, it's not going to be connected anymore. So you got to go to this new Facebook page. And that's what you see here in this workflow thing where you can just open up this carrot. This will be in your web page, not a separate app. It's free though. You can get one. Okay, cool. So before I go, any questions? We got a lot to do. No? Okay, cool. And if you've made it till Friday and you're still here, thank you. Okay, cool. So we still have a lot to do with our bot, frankly. Not a lot, but we still have some key things to do with our bots, let's say. So let's recap real quick and see what we've built thus far. This is our lucid chart document, which I use to make flow charts. You can use whatever you want. Whimsical, I've heard, Fig Jam, anything you want. Something you can share, something you can reference is the best option. That's also available in this workflow document here under Let's Wireframe the Bot. So we have our receptionist bot. It asks for name, phone, email. If it knows that, it skips it. It says, what service do you want? Like hot yoga, yoga for kids, a few different types of yoga. And it knows that because of the knowledge base that we created in CloseBot. And then it asks, excuse me, it asks what class type do you want, group or private? And based on the answer, Go High Level sets a custom field, which we've set a few days creating, so you should know what that is by now. It sets a custom field to be the calendar permalink ID, which we also went over quite a bit, so that when you schedule in CloseBot, which is conversational scheduling, it knows which calendar to use. So it's kind of an advanced way to leverage Go High Level and CloseBot to make CloseBot more dynamic. Okay, so I'll show you this bot that we've built. This is the reception bot. And then, oh, by the way, finally, after it schedules on a calendar, one of these 2 calendars based on the answer from the previous question, it will say thanks and then say, do you want to get daily affirmations? When they say yes, it goes through the affirmation bot, which we're going to work on today. So real quick, just to refresh, our where'd that bot go? Okay, so here's the reception bot for Harmony Hatha. This is the, oh, look at all these orange things. So I just looked in the dashboard. Wonder what the orange is. So that means that there's a error, but it's not a breaking error. So by looking, you look in the logs, rate limit error falling back to using credits. Okay. So that may have to do with the fact that I have so many demos and stuff, maybe that what my rate limit is in, no, I have 33 bucks here. I don't know what that means. I'll disregard it. Hopefully it won't affect anything. But you may not see this alert, this error. Okay. Actually, that's the wrong bot. I apologize. It jumped. It was in the default bot. Hold on. It shouldn't have those errors. Every once in a while, CloseBot does this. The menu's off. You see that? And I know that 22.8 is actually the default. So every once in a while, this menu acts funky in CloseBot. So I'm going to refresh. Disregard what I said, please, regarding the errors. Okay, so there's the reception bot. It still has some of these errors here. I don't know what that means. So if it's what I might suspect, rate limit error. Okay. I don't know whose credits that means. If it's my credits or Bryce's credits at OpenAI. I'm going to disregard it because the bot seemed to work just fine anyway. So in the bot, oh, wait, credit card auto refill. Oh, maybe I should do this. Although I have enough credits, so I don't need to do that. Never mind. All right, let's keep going. Sorry about that. So in our reception bot, which is this, it works great. We tested it. We even tested it by toggling a calendar. It worked great. We got to the thanks part. That worked great. We went on to the affirmation bot. It started asking what kind of affirmation, 3 options, SMS or email, question, and then what time, day or night. And then based on that, it's going to set off an affirmation bot separate, like not an affirmation bot, but an affirmation sender, which we're going to create today. And then it asks, thanks, you want to buy a yoga mat, which is the Buy-A-Mat bot. We have 3 bots, remember? We have our affirmations bot and our Buy-A-Mat bot. And so we'll finish this up probably Monday, okay? But it works. This does work. So if they say, yes, I want to buy a mat, it gives them a link, which is in the bot, okay? So does anyone need me to go over the bots again so I can keep moving forward? The bots we've built all throughout the whole week? Anyone? Anyone? No? Great. Okay, cool. So let's move on to our affirmation bot. So our affirmation bot, and while I'm doing that, let's do 2 things at once. In this new Facebook page, I haven't even tested the bot. Let's try it. I just connected it, so let's try it. We'll do that over here. We'll do 2 things at once. So it's going to be on the left this time. I want to go to, let me go there real quick. Okay. So let's message this and get the conversation going with the reception bot, because that's the first bot, right? You can try this on your own too. Hopefully I won't get an error. So I'm going to say hi over here on the left. Okay, so over here on the right, we're looking at our affirmations close bot. Okay, so we're on the objectives, and this worked fine. So remember, we set it up where, if you recall, just to recap, our reception bot is the first bot that gets triggered based on our workflow, our automation, and go high level. That comes with close bot. Step 2, the magical step. Step 2 is where all this routing is happening, right? And the way we're doing it is the last question in one bot is what routes it to the next bot. Okay, there's other ways to route, but this is the method where you're learning here. Okay, so the last question, the reception bot, as you see here, is, I'll make a different color even. It's a handoff bot. Want to get daily affirmations? And then this is also a handoff thing, which you'll see. Goes to the next bot. So they're going to answer yes, I want the affirmation. And when they answer yes, by the time they say yes, the affirmation bot is picked up. See? So since the first question in the affirmation bot is the same as the last question in the previous bot, it'll understand when you say yes, what it's saying yes to. If you just say yes without that, it wouldn't know what it was doing. So it would get totally confused. Plus, it means that you could send traffic to this bot only theoretically without going through the reception bot. For instance, if you had, click here to chat with our, affirmation bot, or click here to sign up for affirmations, then we'll go through only this bot. Because again, it asks for email, name, phone, which I do in one priority lane because I don't care. I need them all answered. I don't care really which order it does. Sometimes I do actually, and I move name first, but we're not doing that. And it's set up in CloseBot in this gather info objective window here to skip objectives. Remember, so if it knows the email already, it's going to skip it. Okay, so if you do that in all the bots that it's routing to, it's going to skip right over that. So it allows you, to reuse bots and route from bot to bot, makes it much more functional. Then it asks what type of affirmation they want, like we said. What type? SMS or email, time. Okay. And that all worked, but we need to send out the affirmation. Okay. And by the way, the last question here is buy a yoga mat. Okay. So that when they answer the question, do you want to buy a yoga mat? It has gone to our final bot. Oops. Let me save that. It has gone to our next bot, which is Buy-Mat. And this is, see, this menu is doing the same thing. That's really irritating. Sorry about that. So when it goes from, it asks the last question in the affirmations bot, which is after it knows everything, it says, thanks, you want to buy a yoga mat. So that means the first question in the buy a mat bot is, you want to buy a yoga mat? If they say yes, it gives them this link, which we prompted like this by using this extra prompting in addition to the main prompting. And here's this link. And we're going to make this more advanced, but not today. Okay. And that's our whole bot. And this is it over here. So on the right, on the left, I mean, it said hi. So here's how it responded. Hi, how can I assist you today? If you need to discuss something later, may I have your phone number? Okay, whatever. I'm not really testing exactly how the bot responds at the moment, as long as it's working. So while we're doing that over here, we need to build our Affirmations Creator Sender widget, okay? It's not a closed bot. So what I'm going to do is, we know that in the Affirmations bot, we need to check to see when the lead has gotten past filling out all of this information, okay? So when when the lead completes this objective, I want to trigger a workflow. And we kind of did this before. Remember, I used the goals accomplished custom field that CloseBot creates. I'm showing you this, so just, this is the key here. It's goals accomplished. We're going to be looking. You may already know what I'm going to do when I create this new workflow. I'm going to be looking for time, which is what time. It's kind of, oh, you could move these. That's cool. That makes it a little easier to organize. So it's going to ask, so I'm looking for this what time, because I know already that that is the field. Oh, affirmation time. Oh, good. I messed up. So this is a good example of to double check your work. We created some new fields. The what time, let me double check that. Affirmation. Yeah, that's better. So we need to look, I labeled them better. So disregard, sorry about that. So let's change this here so you can see exactly what the field is. Affirmation. But honestly, when you're working on lots of bots and you're going back and forth and you're flying, it's very, very, very easy to get confused. So bots just won't work and you'll be like, what's going on? All right, so this is going to be affirmation type. No, affirmation type. Yep. Label these correctly. And then affirmation. No, I'm sorry, this is affirmation type and that's affirmation channel. Yes. So affirmation type is one of those three things like yoga poses, yoga quotes. This is the affirmation channel, SMS, email, and here's the affirmation time, which is our routing question as well. Sorry if that was confusing. Cool. Any questions? No? Okay, cool. Let's go. So let me fix that typo. Okay. So now that I know the proper names of these fields, so I'm going to be making a workflow that's looking to see if affirmation time has been completed. I want to see if this step in affirmation has been completed, and here's why. When this step is completed, and I'll flow this out. So when this step is completed, I'm going to make a new workflow. Trigger workflow or automation, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to trigger a workflow in GHL. And what this workflow is going to do is it is going to create the affirmation. It's going to send the affirmation to the right channel, right? Because remember, they've got to pick what channel they want it to go to. So send the affirmation to channel. We're going to use the affirmation type here. We're going to create an affirmation based on what type of affirmation they want. And then finally, this is pretty simple. We're going to, the terminator on this flow is just going to go right to here. And so that's called a go-to. So there's going to be a go-to that just repeats this forever. Oh, there's going to be one more step or else this would be ridiculous. So we're going to have, there's one more question we asked, which is the time, right? So based on the time that they requested, so based on the time that they requested, so we're going to do wait until, and this is going to require an if-else conditional. So this is be more complex and I'm flowing it, but you'll see. Wait until time. Wait until affirmation time. Okay. And then it's gonna, so I gotta flip these. I need to wait until the affirmation time before I send it, right? And then it'll do this go to. I don't even need to do that. I can just, well, it is a go-to step. I want to show it so you guys know that it's actually a step and go high level. You'll see soon enough. Okay, cool. So let's make this puppy. Okay, so over here on the left, let's just check our bot testing. Thank you for your phone number. Can I get your email address? This is really a terrible bot right now. Wonder why. Let's see. Not very exciting. That's okay. Let's see if it does what I asked it to, which is sell me yoga services and products. Okay, cool. So now let's build this thing. So we have our flow chart. Now we need to make this thing. So like we said, we're going to be making a workflow in automations. I'm going to do create workflow, start from scratch. I'll call this, let's call this one, there might be, no, there's only going to be one with this. So we'll call this tool Affirmation Creator Sender. It's going to handle everything. And now I may connect it to CloseBot. I'm not 100% sure I want to do that at the end, and you'll see what I mean by that. But I'm debating. So back on the right and left, sorry. Let's look. Thanks, Josh, for specific information services. It's kind of acting a little funky again. So here's, oh yeah, you know why? Here's what I'm going to do. I forgot. So whenever you test in Facebook, I started testing again, right? But CloseBot, I'm sorry, but Go High Level, it only sees one contact. Even to me, it looked like a new message. It was a new message window and a new Facebook page. I bet if I go to contacts, see, it's, yeah, something's messed up. So I'm going to, when I'm doing testing, I tend to erase my name. I erase my contact before I do testing. So let's do that because this is acting really strange. Okay. I'm going to get rid of the guest visitor. Okay. So now over here in Facebook, let me just clear this out. You don't have to do that, but it's cleaner. All right, let's try this again. Hi. Okay, cool. So now back over here, we're making a, we're working on our automation for our Affirmation Creator Sender. Okay. So settings, remember, make sure this is allow re-entry on, which it is because they changed things, which is awesome. So I'm going to go to Builder, and I know that I want the trigger here to be, I'm going to be looking, remember how you look for if something has changed in the contact to make something happen, which is like the basis of Go High Level and all these third-party tools, is contact changed, right? So if the contact changes and we're looking for the goals accomplished, remember the key field, and I'm looking for specifically affirmation time. I don't see in here. That's weird. I don't see it in the, let me do something here real quick. I apologize. So sometimes you're like, right, me, I'm going, where is it? Where are these fields? This affirmation time? I should see this as a, oh, I'm so sorry, folks. I'm an idiot. I need to do this. This is, again, once you start making bot after bot, you get confused, but the title matters. So I'm going to change the name of the title to match the field so I don't get confused like I just did, okay? So if I change this to affirmation time and hit close, and I'll do the same thing here, affirmation channel. Naming is really important, especially when you're working on lots of bots with clients and a lot of people. You can even document this beforehand, which is helpful. I didn't do that clearly. meaning you could have done this and named everything properly. I did it after the fact, which kind of happens when you're developing fast. But if you're new to this, try to develop this way first and get the client to say this is right, and then you build the bot. So my bad. So let's do this. So this is affirmation type. Does that make sense what I just said? Somebody give me a thumbs up if that kind of made sense what I said, because you're going to run into this all the time if you're a bot builder. Anyone? Cool. Awesome. Awesome. Great. Yeah, it's just if you're making bots for other than one bot, this is going to happen. So naming is important. You see how easy it becomes now that everything's named the same. How much easier that is. Oh, there we are. Boom, right? So now all I got to do is save this. No big deal. All I got to do is save this. And that means that in Go High Level, automatically, since this bot is connected to this Go High Level account, we did that, remember, when we integrated each bot? If I go to custom fields now and I go to goals accomplished, it's going to be a mess because there's going to be lots of entries in there, but that's okay. It's just for the developer. I'm going to have, oh yeah, wait, where is that puppy? Should be in there. It should be saved. See, even the typo should be in there. So what it should, when you save the bot, it should save the name of the objective titles as a goal accomplished. And if it doesn't, let me double check. It is integrated properly. So let's troubleshoot. So I just did that. So goals accomplished. Check that thing, edit. There it is. It just, again, since you're using CloseBot and they're connected to Go High Level, every once in a while, the connection isn't as fast as you are as a developer. And you're like, it's broken. Not broken. I just couldn't wait fast enough. So there it is. There's these goals accomplished that I can use to look for now in this field. Okay, so that means we can go back to this automation that I was creating called Affirmation Creator Sender. What did I do here? Oh, this is nothing. So I'm going to throw this one away so you don't get confused. Just bear with me for 1 second. Okay, so we're in this workflow here. Okay, so now all I need to do is look for that trigger. Remember, if the contact is changed, I want to look for this affirmation. I'm looking to see when the affirmation time changed. That's the routing question that I need to look for. So as soon as that has changed, oh, I'm sorry. There's two ways to do, my bad. So watch. So goals accomplished. That's a different way. Added. We did it this technique. That was a different technique. I didn't mean to show you that. Sorry. So goals accomplished added is affirmation time. So I'm going to change this title so you know. Affirmation time changed. Okay. Now here's another filter you could do since I just almost showed you. So since that's a field that it's connected to, not every objective connects to a field, so there wouldn't be a goals accomplished. But since this one does have a field that you saw that we created together, I can also look to see if that field has changed. I'm sorry, what is affirmation time? So I could also look to see if that has changed. That's another good way to look to see if a field has been changed by the bot. Okay, so another Go High Level technique. I'm going to erase that. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to save that trigger. Let me publish that and save it real quick. So now let's start writing using ChatGPT to write this affirmation. So real simple. I'm going to make the workflows here. We'll match this thing here. Well, we got 3 things going here. So let's see what this is about. Well, that's my buddy. Okay. Hello, how can I assist you today? It's saying, can I get your phone number to keep you updated on our classes? It's not adding my name. It's not asking for my name because it knows it. Remember, it comes in from Facebook. Okay, so create affirmation type, wait, send, go to. No problem. Easy peasy. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a GPT. So if you have Go High Level, depending on the account you have, I'm going to put gibberish in here for now. Depending on the account level you have, I think it's the premium account and maybe the one just below it, I'm not sure. You can use these actions that have these stars on them when you search through them. So those are premium actions. So if you want to do this, it does require a premium action. Then I know that there's going to be a wait step, but I need the wait step to route based on a few different answers from this affirmation time custom field that we created that has 3 options. And I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to do an if-then conditional. And it's going to be time, wait time, send time, and that's the time it's going to get sent. We'll call this branch morning. And we're looking for the affirmation time custom field. So you go to contact details. We'll look for affirmation time. If affirmation time is morning, then I want that branch to kick off, and I'm going to duplicate this to make it faster. We'll do morning. What was it? Afternoon and evening. Okay, so this will be our router, and then I'll show you how we make this slightly more simple to get it back to one action. You'll see what I mean. Evening. Boom. So now, let me save this. Okay, so now it's gonna write the chat GPT, which we got to prompt. We didn't do that yet. I'm gonna show you a bit of super prompting to do that. Then it's gonna wait. Let's title this better. Wait until affirmation times. Again, if you title things properly and capitalize them like this, it just makes it easier to deal with all this data. So, okay, cool. So I'm going to save that. So morning, afternoon, evening, none. Don't worry about the none branch because it's going to be one of the three. So what we're going to do then is we need to add a wait step. Wait. I'm going to do the advanced. So if you do the advanced window, it gives you more control. So I don't care if the message, I want the message to get sent immediately, but only at certain times, right? So let's say that I don't want to get affirmations on Saturday or Sunday or whatever. You could turn these on or off based on settings and this technique I'm showing you and having a bunch of different permutations of it. But I'm going to say this person, just for ease of this happy path bot, wants affirmations every day. And we know that this is a morning affirmation. So we want it coming from, let's say 7 a.m. to only, 10 a.m. So you want to wait one day because it's going to go every day, right? But it's going to go every day. It's going to kick off, but not until this window for the morning one. And then if it's an evening one, it's going to go down the evening and afternoon, right? You'll watch. So watch. I save this one or title this better. So wait one day till morning. I'm going to duplicate this step to make it easy. I'm going to copy the action, put it here, copy this action, put it here. So now I'm going to say wait one day till afternoon. And guess what I'm going to do here? I'm going to just change my window of what I think afternoon is. I'll do afternoon, which would be 12, 1 o'clock. I'll say 12:30. A lot of choices here. 12:30 p.m. to like 2:30 p.m. That's afternoon. And then evening. So this is one day till evening. And change this one to be like, evening will be 7 to 9. Like a nighttime one, before bed. So cool. So the possibilities are obviously endless. You can make as many of these if else, wait till morning, wait till lunch, wait till evening, wait till bedtime, wait till middle of the night, whatever you want. Okay. So I'm going to save this and I'm going to save that. Let me just save this puppy real quick here. All right. So now the next step is so this is waiting till the affirmation time, right? And then it's going to send information to not Chanel. Okay. So now, okay, so now here's a fun little trick. So I know that I want to look to see if it's SMS or email, which is the affirmation channel, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an if else. I'm just going to use one of these channels because watch what I'll do. There's a fun little trick. So I'm going to make an if else conditional. And I'm going to call this one channel selector. Or no, I'll do this. What? I'm not going to say what. It just is the affirmation channel. I'm going to have one branch. We're obviously going to call it SMS. I'm going to make the SMS still do email because I don't have A2P set up, meaning I can't use the phone number at the moment. But let's just set it because we're looking this is an if then. So I need to look to find the affirmation channel, which is in my contact details. Its affirmation channel is SMS, and we'll duplicate this. This is going to be email. You'll see why I'm doing this. email. Okay, cool. So now we have two different branches here. Now, before I go, I need these two branches to go into this wait affirmation step. So all you got to do is I can do go to, and I save that, and then you just click on a step. So it's the same thing as this having duplicating this whole thing over here. You don't need to do that. It makes it a lot more elegant. Okay. So then I'm going to do go to again. And I'll also go here. Okay. So waits, and then it goes to this affirmation channel switcher. And then based on what affirmation channel they chose, now it's going to send an SMS manually. We'll write this later. It's going to be the output of chat. So the way this works is very simple. This chat GPT is called number one. And I want to make the contents of the SMS the output of the chat GPT. It's very simple. All you got to do is click custom values and go to GPT. And it's this one, whatever we gave that title, number one powered by chat GPT. We'll change that title and this will change, right? And then it's the response field. Boom. So chat GPT, one response. Every widget you add, it says that's 2, 3, 4, 5. It's very simple. So now when I say, I have to, I could save that. So now I'm going to do the same thing for email. And this time I got to do, so from Josh Rosenfeld. This is going to be coming from my Josh at Rosenfeld Marketing email, which is my marketing company, I would see. But the reason is because as my agency and Go High Level is under Rosenfeld Marketing, and I haven't paid for a Harmony Hothy email, so it's got to go through my root level Go High Level agency account. So it's kind of a technical thing, but you'd obviously put your email or your client's email here, and you will have properly set up their email with their sub account and their name, obviously. So the subject is going to be. Now, I could have ChatGPT write a separate subject, but that adds a level of complexity, which we may or may not do. Then I'll just say your daily affirmation, exclamation point. Let's put some fun little thing here like daily, not an alarm. That's not fun. What's fun for yoga? Like, I don't know, yin yang, maybe? No, one of these things. Boom. So your daily affirmation. And again, this is going to be the output of the GPT, the response, and it's going to give us different response. We're going to make a crazy prompt to make one prompt do what we want to output for this thing. It's going to be the super prompting I talked about, in case you're wondering. Okay, so let's save this puppy. Now, all we need to do is once it sends this email, all I got to do is go back to here. Let's see, where do I want this wait step? Yeah, this is fine. So I'm gonna do a go to here. We'll see if this works. We're gonna have to test this thing. So I'm gonna hit save action, and now it wants me to go do. So I'm gonna go all the way back to the top, right? Because that's what I want to do. Once it sends it, I want to go all the way back to the top, do the thing again, wait, and send it. So I'm gonna do the same thing here, and add a go to, and I'll zoom back in, but I had to zoom back out so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Going all the way back to the top. Okay. Any questions? Does that make sense, everybody? There's only 1, 2, 3 troopers on the line. Thank you for you all. So that's how you do that. Okay. So there's your complex workflow. So now let's finish this puppy off. So we have our trigger. When the affirmation time is changed by the bot, it's going to send them down this path. It's going to write a ChatGPT. It's going to wait till the affirmation time. It's going to route on the affirmation time. It's going to send them down the right channel, and then it's going to repeat. Cool. So now let's make this super prompt. Super prompt. So here's what I want to do. I know already that you get a lot of characters, by the way, in the ChatGPT compared to CloseBot. So, and it's also, yeah, it works really well. So I'm going to go back to workflows real quick, and I need to do something. I need to, I kind of want to store this. Do I want to store, yeah, let me store this in a field. So let me think. I need to get this custom field. So the custom field is called Affirmation Type. That's all I need to know. But let me just copy this. You'll see why. Okay. So now I just want a variable example to bring into ChatGPT. So now we're going to use ChatGPT proper. And before I do that, I'm going to bring up a Word document because it's much easier to prompt to do a super. We're going to make a long prompt. And doing it in Chat GPT directly, you got that little window, and if you hit return, it's ruined. So this is what I'm going to do. Let me bring up a Google Doc. Okay. And so this Google Doc, so this is how I do it. I need to write a prompt to have a prompt write something correctly every time. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to say, and here's the thing, my Chat GPT, if you don't know this, you could program your Chat GPT to know certain things. So for instance, my Chat GPT already knows that where they put the menu. Oh, they moved this a bit. So my GPT already knows that, you know, it's supposed to act as an expert online marketer and salesperson and a master AI prompt writer. It already knows to do that. So if your bot doesn't know to act a certain way, make sure you let it know to act a certain way. I suggest doing it here. Okay. So anyway, I'm not going to do it in this prompt. If you've learned to do that in the prompt, I'm not going to do it here. That's why I'm telling you this. Okay. So here we go. So I'm going to do multiple prompting to make my super prompt. So I'm going to say, I need to create, let me zoom in. Okay. I need to create a prompt for Chat GPT to write a custom daily quote based on a variable. And remember, we pasted that variable example. I'm going to paste it right in here. Based on a variable that can be, because it doesn't know, it's not connected to Go High Level. So unlike CloseBot, it can't actually look into the field. So I'm going to let it know what it can be. So I'm going to go back to here and just to refresh my memory. We have Affirmation Type. So general wellness, yoga quotes, yoga position of the day. That could get messy, maybe, but who cares? Be fun. Okay, so I'm here. Yes. We'll call this Harmony Hatha, and I'll share it with maybe I don't know if I'm going to share this. So I need to create a prompt for ChatGPT to write a custom daily quote based on a variable here that can be either, and I put it in like a quote just so it's separated, general wellness, comma, yoga quotes, and I'm going to further prompt this. But the thing is, since I'm doing it in docs, I can edit it and do all sorts of things so much easier than doing it in that little tiny stupid prompt thing. So yoga quotes. And as you write it, you'll figure out, oh, I should have said this, I should have said that. And it's just so much easier to think of this. I mean, it's not that complicated, obviously. I didn't invent this. It's clearly simple, but very good step. Yoga position of the day or surprise me. Now, I want this bot writer to know. So I'm going to give it a little bit more prompting. You can do character returns. So I'm going to say, I have a yoga studio called Harmony Hatha. We offer daily affirmations to our, what are they called? Yoga studio? What do they call them? Students? Yeah. To our students via text, via SMS, or email. The more the bot knows, the more it knows, the better. Okay. Have years of Harmony Hatha, we every blah, blah, blah. So I need to create a prompt for ChatGPT for a ChatGPT. You can get really explicit. Watch this. I need to create a prompt for a ChatGPT workflow step in Go High Level. Since this is going to be in GPT 4.0, it'll look online and see what that is, especially if you do .com. So watch this. I need to create a prompt for ChatGPT for a ChatGPT workflow step in a Go High Level.com automation that writes a different short daily affirmation, it's not a quote, based on a variable. So I wanted to use this because we can use variables in our workflow, as you'll see. That can either be one of these options, and then I want more prompting. So I'm going to say, if the, oh, we can even do this. This will even be cooler. Watch this. We also know that the student, this is going to be crazy, wants to receive their, I'm going to take this out. Wants to receive their affirmation by either SMS or text, which is determined by this variable. Let me think. So when I render this in ChatGPT and go high level, this affirmation type is going to say, okay, so this is writing our problem. So this is okay. We also know the student wants to receive this was determined by the variable, and it's this variable. We have another variable. Remember, this is affirmation channel. Affirmation channel. Now watch this. Based on the type of, based on the affirmation channel, I want the affirmation to be under 255 characters, which is a lot, for SMS, in one sentence, with no formatting, so no carriage returns, no bolding, none of that nonsense. Based on the information, I want the information to be under 255 characters for SMS with no formatting, comma, and I want the email affirmation to be normal email length with formatting, etc. What else does it need to know? Oh yeah, so let's say this. So since my personal bot isn't a yoga expert, I'm going to say this is the bot. I'm going to say act as if you know you are an expert yoga instructor and social media master. No, not social media master, and an affirmation writer. Okay, cool. So if you do that, the bot is better. Okay, cool. So here's a small prompt. Small super prompt. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to paste, because this isn't the prompt that's going in Go High Level, right? This is the prompt we want it to write to go in high level. Okay. Okay, now write the prompt. I'm going to copy this and we'll see how this works. You never know, right? So I'm going to paste this into ChatGPT 4.0. Man, look at that. Beautiful. Goodness gracious. I get so excited. Would you look at this? Well, I don't want it to use their name, although I can, because I can replace it with the name of the customer. So I'm going to do that. Jason Crendell. Oh, these are quotes. Oh, there's not that many. So if you needed lots and lots of quotes, that's a more advanced thing. I'm not going to get into that. So let's copy this. That's pretty bad. That's meaning bad, meaning sweet. So let's see what happens. So I'm going to copy this puppy, and I'm going to go to over here. How much time do we have? 15 minutes. It's going to take 2 days. So that's why I knew this thing would take 7 days. So let's go over to here. We're almost done, though. We can almost ready to test. So I'm going to go over to my automations, and I'm going to go over to my affirmation sender. I'm going to go to this stuff. So let's change this up. We're going to call it affirmation writer. Okay, so I'm just gonna literally paste in what that thing just wrote, except the only thing that's irritating is that bolding comes in strange. Keep these hashtags in there. That allows it to know that there's like, oh, this is called what's this stuff called? Not short codes, markup. So this is just markup so the bot knows that these are separate things. So you can keep this here. Now, there's our variable. So it's going to know what the affirmation type is based on the contact, right? Each contact goes through this individually. So it's automatically set to how they answered. I need to do one more thing. I'm going to do under name. I'm just going to go here, and here's a custom field. I'm going to go to the contact first name. So be like, hey, Josh, hey, whatever. Where'd that go? Did that work? I didn't see that really working. Okay, there. I'm clicking that, first name. Am I crazy? Oh, there it is. It's putting it at the bottom. That's not right. I'm just going to copy this, no problem. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, and I just want to, wherever it says name, just put that in there. So then it'll use their name. How cool is that? And you could obviously tweak the prompt again to tell it to make the emails longer, etc. This isn't exactly right, though, and I'll show you why in a second. Wait, no, that's not true. This is right. I'm sorry. Disregard that, please. Okay, cool. So let's try this puppy, and I'll show you how to do that. So we're going to get this tested right now. So I'm going to close that. Where's save? Oh, it's down here. Scared me for a second. There's save. Okay, so I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this. Now I want to send, I want to get an email. So I'm going to set up my contact, which is still going over here. I never kept talking to it, but that's okay. I feel confident that it's going to work. So I'm going to go back to contacts, and we're going to send me through this. Let me use my correct email address, and I can see if it works. It'll be to me, from me, but that's okay. And let's make sure that these fields are set here. I don't care about any of this stuff, but I will. So watch, we'll use the trigger itself to send it. So remember, we're using affirmation time as the trigger, right? So now I know that I want to set affirmation type. I'd like to get a yoga quote. I'd like to get it via email is how I'm going to test it. And then I'd like to get it in the evening, and I'll push myself through this. So even though it's not the right time, actually it is the right time. I'll do evening, and hopefully it'll come through. Bot type, doesn't matter. I'm not using a bot at the moment to make this happen. Remember, this is outside of CloseBot completely. This would work anywhere. So I'm going to save this, and since I added this goals accomplished, it should trigger off the whole thing. So hit save. Now, if I go back to automation and go, look, one person came into this tool we just created. I'll put in, just to make it stand out. Let's just put this puppy in here. So it went through here, and now it's writing. See, it's waiting on this step. It's got to wait a second. So it went through. It looks like it executed. Everything went through. Now it's here waiting. It's waiting until the evening. So to make this push through, what you can do is you just click on this little person here and do, because it's waiting a day. So I'm not going to get it. I wouldn't get it till tomorrow, right? Because they signed up for them today, but it'll activate the next day. So I'm going to use this little icon here. It's going to move me through that step. Okay. And then it's going to go boom, boom, boom all the way down to the bottom. You don't see it though, but it did, trust me. And now since it's going back to the top, you're going to see this little icon here jump back up to here and wait. And then actually, yeah, it's going to wait up. It's not going to wait up here. It's going to be back down here now that I think about it. Well, let's watch. Let's see what it did. Let's see what it did. So if I look at my email, bear with me for 1 second. Oh, look at that. Is that cool? It's close. We're really close. Oh my God, is that sick? Sick, sick, sick. Now it's not formatted great. Look, in 45 minutes, this is pretty amazing. So let's just see if it worked again. And the reason is I want to make sure it writes a different quote because sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going to refresh this page real quick, and you should see me waiting again at this step down here. Okay, but that's okay. So I'm going to push me through again. I should have a new email in a minute. That is sick. So this isn't perfect, but we're almost done with this affirmation writer. So we'll finish it up on Monday. Because again, I'm extending this by 2 days. So if you're watching this recording, you'll see it. If you're live, come back Monday, same time, same channel. I'll post this again in the group, in the calendar, in the classroom. It'll be everywhere. Okay. So let's see if it did, in fact, send me a new email with a different quote. Because sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so here's the one email. Oh, sick. It's a different quote. Sick. So cool. That's amazing. Let me just double check to make sure that they are different because I've had it not be different. But I feel these are different. Totally different, man. So cool. Look at that. Totally different quotes. Sick, sick, sick. So what I need to do is we can do this in the next 2 minutes. So this is something here is off. So all I got to do is look in the GPT. Yoga quotes email. Oh. Oh, I see what it's doing. Okay, so no problem. So what I need to do is down here, so I'm going to copy this whole quote and get rid of this. So I pasted in some extra stuff. Remember, this is coming from the Word document. So what I want to do is in the Word document, let's tweak it slightly. What do I do with that thing? So much stuff going on. Okay. Oh yeah, how's the chat going? Oh, whatever. I know that thing works. All right, so I know that it was adding something strange that I don't like, which is this yoga quotes email. Dear, so let's get rid of that. So get rid of this word email. I don't care if it says yoga quote in the email, but it doesn't need to say that. Let's just see if this slightly fixes it. This isn't going to be the most perfect affirmation writer, but for about an hour of work, it's going to be pretty slick. So I'm going to say, I'm going to have everything start with namaste, just for whatever, because it's clearly not getting the contact's name here. I don't know why, because I think it's using this as an example of what to do and not the exact thing I want to do. Okay, cool. All right, so now I'm going to save that action, save that. Now I know that if I push myself through here, it's going to send me an email that's already been written. I'm going to do it twice. You got to refresh because it's, even though it looks like it's in the same spot, it's really not. Oh, I'm up here. So it's writing right now. I'm gonna hit refresh. Come here. Let me push myself through it. Okay. So now we're gonna wrap up soon, folks. Obviously, it's Friday, late. 8 o'clock. So let's see what happened here. So now there we go. So here's the newest email. So it just says yoga quotes, namaste, blah, blah, blah. It is the same quote, which is irritating. Okay, so again, we're not going to make this super advanced. It did what I wanted. It wrote a quote. Sometimes it makes the same quote. This becomes way more complex to start completely randomizing it. I'm definitely not going to do it right this second. So let's wrap up for the day. So here's what we did. Take some notes real quick. So worked on our affirmation writer. Affirmation writer automation outside DHL only. Okay. So this we wrote a super prompt, wrote a prompt to write a prompt. to write an affirmation. And then we created a multi-level weight step, a multi-choice weight step. Then we sent affirmation to the right channel. And again, this is all here in our lucid chart as we designed it. Boom, 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 boom. So I'm not even going to test this. Probably we're going to have to do testing, obviously, Monday. So are there any questions for the 4 or 5 troopers that are here? Any questions at all? Awesome. Thank you so much. I will see you Monday. Again, I'll email everybody. I'll post in my groups and whatnot, but we'll finish this up on Monday. I'll have this link and this recording up by tomorrow. I'll have the one from yesterday up by today. So thank you. Have a great weekend, everybody.